All right, New York City Mayor Eric Adams has been charged with bribery and fraud. This is by the Biden Justice Department. I don't know. Join me now, Charlie Hurt, Washington Times opinion editor, Fox News contributor, and Rich Lowry, editor-in-chief of National Review. I mean, Rich, I have no idea. If he took bribes from the Turkish government to build the embassy, they built the embassy or the consulate here in New York. But I'm just saying,
consulate.
I am so, jaded and opposed to the Biden Justice Department. I don't want to defend Eric Adams, but there's a part of me that does want to defend Eric Adams. He may be a crook, he may be a lot of things, but I tell you, so are the Justice Department under Biden.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons to be suspicious about the Biden Justice Department and the way this system of justice works in New York. But I have to say, Adams has been such a disappointment. He sounded so promising in the Democratic primaries and then in that campaign, said the right thing about policing, a bunch of other stuff. And then he turned out to be kind of a flake and ineffectual. And now, I'm like you. I don't know whether he's guilty of crimes and corruption, but at the very least, this is sleazy and the last thing New York City needs or deserves.
Well, they're busting I don't know, a third or half of his commissioners. I mean, the police commissioner's gone down, the fire commissioner's gone down, the education commissioner's gone down. Pretty soon there won't be any commissioners or city government. Now, that could be a good thing in some theoretical free market sense, but they are busting everybody around them. So you kind of have to wonder, when's his turn going to come up? Rich, still with you.
Oh, sorry, still with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, look, at the very least, he's not running a shop that you can rely on, and this is not good. Again, this will be heard by a jury of his peers, but it's just terrible. What's happened in New York should have been so grateful for having Rudy Giuliani and then Mike Bloomberg. I was annoyed by Bloomberg a lot, but that was such a blessing for the city. It put it on such a better footing, and now we're into this. At the very least, if Eric Adams isn't a criminal, he's mismanaged and engaged in sleazy practices that are very bad for the city. Yeah, it is bad for the city.
Charlie, I want to come back to this story. We talked about it with Newt Gingrich yesterday. We talked about it a little bit Tuesday. Kamala Harris making a big mistake, not going to the Al Smith dinner, Cardinal Dolan, for Catholic Charities. Making a big mistake. Now, people are saying she doesn't have the cleverness and she won't joust and she really doesn't believe in joy and so forth and so on, and she's afraid Donald Trump will roast her. Maybe that's all true. But what Newt and I were talking about yesterday, and I want to get you both to weigh in on this, please, the fact is, the Democratic Party is just chock full of anti-Catholicism, anti-Christianity, and frankly, anti-God. And I'm just asking whether Kamala Harris isn't part of that.
Yeah, well, certainly, when you watch her perform, with some of these press, interviews where she just can't get anything out, she's not able to think, she's not able to answer any questions, you do sort of wonder maybe that's what she's afraid of. But it is such a dismissal of one of the finest traditions.
Right.
It's a dismissal of a wonderful charity that does real good work, raises real good money, and it does kind of, when you put it up against all of the other things that this Biden administration, the Harris-Biden administration, has shown such contempt for, it does kind of make you wonder, is there something else going on here with her?
Well, there's a bad track record. Rich Lowry, there's a very bad track record. I mean, it's about Catholicism, but it's about Christianity. It's about, harassing the little sisters over abortions.
Yep.
It's about
Shameful.
It was about the Transgender Day of Visibility, which they put on the same day as Easter, which is the highest holiday for Christianity and is renowned around the world. I mean, it just makes... I'm not going to say every Democrat is godless and against Catholic. I'm not going to say that. But I'm going to say that on the far left, which is to some extent the tail that pulls the Democratic dog and maybe pulling Kamala Harris, there's a lot of they don't like God on the far left of that Democratic Party.
Yeah, there's a lot of history there. And I have to say, Larry, she's supposed to be running this campaign that's joyful. And here's one event that's on the campaign agenda. Every 4 years, everyone shows up that actually is nice and funny and is a grace note and is a wonderful tradition, no matter how nasty a campaign is. And she's not going to show up for that, right? And she's the joy candidate. And it's just very telling. You know, we may not think that she's up for this kind of thing and performing this spontaneous setting. But what's more telling and a more damning indictment is the people closest to her who know her much better than we do and want her to win don't think she's up for it in this kind of setting.
I'm just waiting, Charlie, for people to resign from her campaign over this.
Oh,
last word.
I'm waiting for people to resign from the campaign because of her history, of being terrible to work for. But, you know, the one true thing is that she believes that the government is the answer for everything. And those of us who appreciate our religion appreciate the fact that the government isn't the answer to everything. And when she talks about the opportunity economy, which she suddenly started talking about, she's not talking about our opportunity. She's talking about a government economy.
Of course, absolutely. Holistically.
Holistically.
She used holistically.
She learned how to say that word.
Capitalists don't use holistically. I don't know who uses holistically. Rich Lowry, Charlie Hurt, thank you both very, very much.
It's not one of our words.
It is not one of our words. You got that right.